Hey guys, it's Superman. Yep, that part. Superman Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. And this was the stuff they don't show you. And this what upsets me with news, fake news that is. I told you they fake because they show you all negative stuff. And I don't know nobody that want to live that way, being negative all the time.
What do I think happened in this case? Tiffany has demonstrated characteristics like self-centeredness, grandiosity, shallowness, a sense of entitlement.
I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. This is what people don't show you. See, it's called Just Ice Rink. I want to show the world the things that I actually do in my town. I actually love on the people. I actually show them that they mean everything to me.
She believes her election to mayor signaled her transformation to royalty. She is now the undisputed leader of the kingdom of Dolton. Her authority must not be challenged.
And that's the part that you have to stay tuned for. Because what you haven't seen lately is you haven't heard your super mayor speak yet. You haven't heard that, right? So I try to tell people, stop listening to the mess. Because messy people, they just need company. Misery needs company.
She will rule with an iron fist and crush her opponents. All the treasure in the kingdom now belongs to her.
Because at the end of the day, I think I've been showing the world, showing the village, showing...
It would be more appropriate if the residents of Dolton had a security detail to protect them from Tiffany, not the other way around.
The bill is due for these vehicles that are going to be repossessed. Let's check out that story.
Some of those vehicles being threatened with repossession include Village of Dolton police cruisers and accessories that the village financed back in 2019, much like the one right behind me. Tonight, some Village of Dolton trustees and their legislative council are calling for answers and accountability.
This is so embarrassing. How can she fix this problem other than running down there and paying it? This is embarrassing. Police vehicles are being repossessed. Then also, I'll show you the clip. You guys checked out the Dolton trustees video, Jason House, the interview with Jason House. They show how the damn police chief is lying, saying no, there's no problem with the cars being repossessed. What are you talking about? How is he? He must be lied. He's being lied to, or he's just a part of the dictatorship that's happening. But we'll play that right after this one.
There's no accountability.
In yet another shock to Village of Dolton trustees, a letter falling on their desks dated February 14th. Representatives from Kansas State Bank threatening to repossess 13 village vehicles, saying more than $76,000 is overdue, climbing.
The Board of Trustees approved payment in May of 2023.
But where that loan payment went that was due 9 months ago is anyone's guess. Lawyers for the bank now warning the village, pay up or be ready for repossession agents to take the vehicles, which include...
Even if you are running a dictatorship, right? Like, you need to have the police have the vehicles. The police need to be able to move quickly to do all the unethical things and all the illegal things you tell them to do, to stalk this person and stalk that person, give that business owner a problem because they said something you didn't like. They need wheels. They can't, how are they going to harass people? What are you going to do? Scooters? Mopeds? You know, yeah, the chief said I took care of that. Like, the chief was like, what are you talking about? We'll play that right after this. But, most dictators, the one thing they take care of is the military, which is important. To a point where that's why so many people are so fascinated with the story. It's getting worse, but it's getting better where she's getting exposed and she is getting held accountable, but she is not handling it well. So again, she's talking about, you haven't heard me speak yet.
Because what you haven't seen lately is you haven't heard your super mayor speak yet. You haven't heard that, right?
Okay, first of all you do is talk. I don't know what you're talking about. But you have opportunities to speak, and then you don't. So from this situation, Henyard holds illegal township meeting. So again, the very transparent mayor is holding meetings, and no one was able to check out the meeting. It was basically a bunch of nonsense happening. The Dolton Township was supposed to have a public meeting because these meetings are public, right? But obviously things didn't go as planned. Tiffany Henyard's security force, remember her Secret Service, made people go to the basement saying that the meeting was there, but that was a lie. One trustee got locked out until the meeting started. People, including the media, couldn't get into the meeting room. Henyard didn't make sure that the audio was working, the video was working. This was an illegal meeting because remember, public business is being talked about here and no one knows. Well, again, is this some kind of dictator meeting where you have your generals and you just throw out crazy orders? So in my opinion, yeah, I believe that the meeting was against law. You cannot make any decisions. Any decisions made in that meeting should not be null and void. It should be canceled. They said one town resident said that the meeting ended very quickly, and they found out later that almost no one was in that main room. So this shows a big problem that how this meeting was run. More of the same, where we're realizing that Tiffany Henyard she's feeling the heat. The walls are closing in. And I do agree with Mattology. Yeah, she's behaving like a mob boss, right? The mob boss, they make sure if they have a meeting, they make sure that only the people who are trusted are in their meetings, making sure there's no video or audio can record their discussions because they're doing some nefarious shit. Yes, the secret squirrel meeting. Sherry says, she says the trustees' meetings are secret squirrel meetings. And she literally had one. At least the secret squirrel meeting, right, was taped. We heard them talk. They had people there. They had the public. They had residents that wanted to speak. So that, I rather, at least if that squirrel meeting, at least you have some kind of video evidence. This was no video, no audio. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. And it's pretty obvious like how this is a bad idea, right? Like we could talk about it, but no access. You couldn't get into the meeting. Even if it was supposed to be open to anyone, you were just basically sent away. No voice. You didn't have a chance to speak because, again, you didn't know what was happening. Obviously, it was confusing, probably on purpose. And then they make it a quick and closed off thing. If you're a mayor, it's not a good look. She is doing her own secret squirrel meetings, and that needs to be called out. It needs to be called out. Yeah, that's a very Nito Brown move to have that kind of situation where you're hiding the meetings, and then also the other stuff that she's been doing. That weird salary maneuver. She proposed a nearly 90% cut in the salary for her position, but only if she's not the one filling it. That's not a joke. That's not a Onion article. She proposed a nearly 90% cut in her salary for her position if she leaves the position. But if she doesn't leave the position, she maintains her salary. You can't make this up. Along with the lavish spending. You really can't believe it. So hopefully, that meeting was not a real meeting at this point. You can't, the public needs to have access. The media has access. This is not going to get any better. So I expect the next regular board meeting to be quite of the affair. Like I said, we have multiple mainstream media outlets. I'm checking out this story. I don't know what she's going to do in the next one. You guys in the comments, do you think that she's going to mess the audio, the video up again? Is she going to bring more plants to walk in and talk about how great she is? Like what's going to be the dialogue with the people that's on her side? They're going to basically do the same thing. You guys are messing up. It's your fault. Like I'm really eagerly anticipating what's going to happen. I think I may do like a live stream, like restream of that, because it has to be. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely insane. Matt said she will distort it somehow. Yeah, she's going to do something. Cancel due to illness. Stephanie says I think she's going to cancel next meeting. Yeah, I think she has some issues going on. When is the meeting? Sherry, if she's in here, maybe she'll throw the date up. It's definitely soon. It's definitely going to be soon. But yeah, it's most likely. I think I'll go with Stephanie. I think she's going to cancel the meeting. She's going to cite something. Because the amount of people that's interested in this meeting now, everyone has some questions. Like, what's going on? Again, being shut out that meeting, it's making her look worse and bringing more people to this crazy, crazy story.
What happened when you tried to go upstairs to the board meeting?
The security guard won't let me up. He just stands at the bottom of the stairs like this.
Yes, like a dictator, right? That's you got your military. They say no one passes you, and you continue to do with your illegal stuff, right?
Politicians don't always like to hear from the public, but some South Suburban residents say controversial supervisor and mayor Tiffany Henyard has gone too far.
Yeah, they say she took extraordinary, potentially illegal measures to prevent them from speaking at a public meeting. Dame Placco has more.
The sign outside its headquarters says, "Welcome to Thornton Township, people working with people." But when residents showed up last night to speak at a public board meeting, they got anything but a warm welcome.
When I arrived, there was security here. He was standing at the bottom of the stairs, preventing anybody from going up to the boardroom. I asked.
First of all, shout out to Stephanie. Great interview last week. And I think what she said was very, really important, especially at the end about community involvement. So I know that the trustees had another event, I think tea with the trustees, and that was a full house. The more people need to speak up, even if it's uncomfortable because of all of the intimidation, all of the weird stuff that's happening. I mean, I guess now you probably can do it if there's no police cars, they can't drive anywhere. I mean, a terrible joke, but that idea that you need to be able to be more active in your community, ask questions and hold the people in power, hold them accountable.
If the meeting was downstairs, he replied yes.
Stephanie Wiedemann and a handful of other residents wanted to speak directly to Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, also the mayor of Dolton, who's generated controversy for spending hundreds of thousands of tax dollars on trips, police security, billboards, and her own personal charity.
I'm just curious to see who makes the decisions about how our tax dollars are being spent.
But they never got that chance. After being blocked from going to the boardroom upstairs, they were sent to the basement where they were told the township board meeting would be held. It wasn't. They asked for a sign-up sheet for public comment. Never got it. And before they knew what had happened, the 4-minute meeting upstairs was over, and Henyard was gone.
4 minutes, a 4-minute meeting? All right, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't think there was a meeting. I don't think, I mean, that's the fastest squirrel meeting, secret squirrel meeting I have ever heard. John Luna says, according to Wikipedia, squirrel meetings are divided into 3 different types of squirrel meetings. You left me in a cliffhanger, John. What kind of, well, what are 3 types of secret squirrel meetings? I mean, this is the fastest one. This is like it's not a meeting. It's more like a conversation. It's a secret squirrel conversation. You know, I'm not going to get into.
Without hearing from her constituents.
They are violating our rights. I pay taxes here. I have a right to get up and speak whether this administration likes it or not.
And not only were the residents shut out, so was a local newspaper reporter who came here to cover the meeting.
I was told by a security guard that I was not allowed upstairs where the boardroom meeting is.
Josh Bootsma of the Lansing Journal says residents deserve to know how elected officials are spending their money.
Thornton Township is the largest township in Illinois, and so there are a lot of people that are affected by the decisions, the financial decisions that this township makes.
Even Thornton Township trustee Chris Gonzalez, a frequent Henyard critic, was ordered out of the boardroom until the meeting began. Do you think any laws were broken last night by the way they handled the public?
Well, definitely. I mean, if somebody wants to speak, it's a public building, they should be able to come in.
The residents say they'll file a complaint with the Illinois Attorney General's office for violating the Open Meetings Act. Our attempts to contact Henyard also went nowhere. In South Holland, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Crazy. Doing illegal secret squirrel meetings. This must stop. John says, yeah, so the secret squirrel meeting, the super secret squirrel meeting, and the super duper 4-minute secret squirrel meeting. Yeah, actually, you broke that down very, very well, actually. Well, that's not going to work. That's not going to cut it when, at this point, I would say a lot of the whole country is looking into this situation. They're following this story. So you're not going to be able to do the things that, at least for the mayor, she's not going to be able to do the same things that she was doing before. The microscope is on her. So she can be goofy with the 4-minute meetings and all this type of thing and the redirections and stuff like that. But I think now it's hard to do that and continue to do that. So the walls are closing in. You cannot have a closed public meeting. The words don't even come together. Closed public means open. Can't just do what you want to do. Doesn't work. And it's just the more bad stories that's coming out, the more it helps get this person to get the at least answer to some of these questions, hold them accountable. Going back to that video with the Dolton trustees of Jason House, you definitely guys want to check it out. Definitely want to check it out because it's a difference between how he speaks and how you hear the mayor speak. I think it's extremely important to have that, because you think everyone is everyone, that's why it's great to hear from Stephanie and all these other great people, because there's a difference between how they speak and how the mayor speaks. Jason criticizes the mayor's use of the catchy slogan, suggesting that they lack real substance. They do not contribute to solving the village financial issues and is not improving the government. He also talked about the financial situation, the lack of transparency. He highlights a significant problem with transparency, particularly with the absence of regular financial reporting to trustees and the residents, because this is taxpayer money. That's not being taken care of as well. And I didn't know that Jason House had years, I guess over a decade of financial experience, and he's not using any of that because they're not even telling him anything. So he has experience in banking and managing finances, which at this point could be very valuable, but Tiffany don't want to hear that. She don't want to deal with that. She's back. She's doing her little secret squirrel meeting. The trustees want more information. They're trying to figure out, they're working and trying to get those monthly financial reports to the residents in the past. They're trying to foster community engagement and transparency. When they had a meeting that the mayor did not want to attend, it was on video. You see the people talking. It was a big difference between how he runs things and how the other trustees are running things and how the mayor is running things. This current lack of regular reporting is just a step back for everyone involved. So I will put that link in to check out that interview if you haven't, because I think it's extremely important to realize there are people in Dolton who understand what's going on, at least, or even in the township, that knows what's going on. It's not just this one mayor out here just losing her mind, and you think, well, everyone's behaving this way. They voted for this. No, it's not that cut and dry. It's not that black and white. Can her income be garnished? I don't have no idea. I won't tell you. I'm not no legal expert. I mean, if she could just get indicted, that'll help. Her income will be garnished if she has to pay for a really powerful attorney, or she has to pay for an attorney in general. That would help the income to be garnished. Carolyn says she won't cancel. She is full of herself. I agree. I totally agree. Tiffany's minions are disliking the truth. Yeah, especially with Keith Freeman, Keith Price, a few of the trustees that spoke in that board meeting that basically defended everything that she was doing and criticizing the trustees for not basically telling her, hey, you guys let her just spend the money. Stop holding up the works here. She's doing great work, and you guys are the bad guys. Next table, people's super scammer. Oh yeah, the names just come so easily, right? Like Sherry says, she should be removed while she is being investigated. Yeah, I agree. John with the $20 super chat, appreciate you. Great coverage on the situation. Keep up the good work. Thank you for coming in, supporting. I mean, again, if you guys didn't engage and watch a lot of these videos, not just obviously not mine, but everyone else that's been talking about this. Now, these videos, there are a lot of content creators, political ones, this guy, psychiatrists, they all are engaged, and that's what brought a lot of this to light. To that New York Post is flying over. Attention brings some action. We needed enough attention on this story. Because remember, the very time I saw this was at least a couple weeks ago from Pink Book's Lessons, and she was putting out a lot of this content. And then Nate the lawyer put this out, and I'm like, wow, this is a fascinating situation. Like, is this actually real? And then you spend some time just watching a lot of the news reports on WGN, and then some of the community members, some of the residents, checking out, emailing and saying, yeah, this not only this is happening, but 40 other things are happening. So there's a lot happening, a lot of stuff that I can't say yet, but things are in motion. So I see a lot of comments like, how is she still in power, and what FBI is doing. You guys, the walls are closing in. That's all I can say. The walls are closing in. Things are going in the right direction to a certain extent. And that's why you see her behavior. Just look at her behavior. See every social media post, how she's still trying to portray a sense of control. She's still trying to portray a sense that everything is fine. They're all just liars. They're just trying to take me down. And if they try to take me down, they're trying to take you down. Because look how awesome this skating rink is. Like, come on. All the great leaders in time, for JFK, Winston Churchill, all these amazing, amazing leaders, right? And look at my skating rink. God damn it. Like, this is it. This is the height of progress. These other people are just trying to take me down and taking you down. So that's where we are with that situation. The residents of Dolton are not stupid. They went to media. They have went to their representatives. They went to the Attorney General. They've went to these sources and said, look at what's going on here. This has been going on for years. Hey, there's a lot of money being missing, and we don't have no access to see what's going on. You think something should be jumped on in weeks, not months and years. Why? Why is it that it's so slow? Some people have mentioned, is it because of the political nature that we have, where if I see something on my team that they're doing something wrong, I choose to ignore it because we're in a political season right now, and we can't have our side look bad. Hopefully that's not the case, but a lot of people do feel that way. So, I mean, let me know in the comments, do you guys think it's a political reason why everyone is so slow to remove this person, to prosecute this person, regardless of the damage she's doing, is because of our political climate? Some people say it's true, that's what's happening. Yeah, illegal meetings, firing people for not following protocol, abuse of township funds, and she's still running around here. Everything is good, yeah. And at least what we're doing by engaging with the comments, calling, involving, especially people there, being more involved than you probably ever have before in your community. You're showing everyone that this is not acceptable, that we're mad, we're not happy with this, and we want to be as loud as possible so action can continue. So even now, as things are getting a little bit tight for Tiffany, and she's doing all this weird stuff and probably going to cancel that meeting next week, you still got to keep pressing on. You still got to put the foot in the neck until something actually happens. Because yes, right now she's feeling a little heat. Keith Freeman is feeling a little heat, but you can't let go of that situation. Sherry says silence is support. She's definitely being protected by someone. And I would love to know who, what is really going on? Is this going to even be deeper than what we just see as some narcissist that just was able to manipulate a few people like by giving them jobs that they probably didn't earn? And she was just going to, spend a lot of money and then do what? Leave, escape, go to a different, what is that end game there? And the fact that she hasn't been prosecuted, regardless of all the evidence to suggest that she should be, who is holding her? Who is protecting her? Is it deeper than what we're even talking about? Pretty in Pink says, I think is extremely deep, right? I don't know. I mean, that's something that hopefully that comes to light, because that's even more, I mean, it's, what she's doing is terrible, but people who are allowing her to do this, whoever that has the ability to stop this and didn't stop it, not even calling it out, that could be even more nefarious. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Let me see. That's another thing too. In any investigation, you start to pull some people out and say, hey, listen, what do you know? And what you can tell us can help you. And that's where all criminal organizations kind of break apart, because people start getting deals and they start to do what they have to do to save their own asses. I hope she loves her $175,000 Tahoe. Maybe, but there's still a lot going on. It's, again, some stuff that I heard, and things are still going to be coming to light. And right now, with all the media surrounding her, it's going to be difficult for her to continue this for too long. That's all I'll say with that. From the vendors still not getting paid. And I would like to see what happens to those vehicles. I know Sherry said that she thinks they're going to hide those vehicles. I will be really interested to see what they're going to do about this situation. It has to, I want to see. I mean, this is the thing. I don't know what's going on here, but I would like to know what they're going to do. The fact they got to pay that bill, the bill's not paid, and they want those vehicles back. Car possessions are high. They're increasing all across the country. People are getting their cars repossessed. This is not necessarily one situation. These people want their cars back if you're not paying for them. So this is the part, they need to get their money back. So I would love to see what's going to happen. I'm telling you, all the residents of Dolton need to show up by the hundreds and keep showing up until the media is there and keep reporting her. I hear you. But also, talking to a lot of the residents, when you see the police behaving in ways that's not for the people, it does give you a pause to say, if I say something, then especially if you're a business owner and you've already seen how business owners have been treated because of the disagreements with her and her personality type, again, speculating that she's vindictive. If you are public with your criticisms, she will do something. That stops a lot of people from trying to even speak. And then she hires really, really stupid pantry, the guy who runs the pantry, to threaten people on social media and phone calls. It keeps people from showing up. But I think I still agree with you that they still need to show up, even if you are fearful, because you speaking up, nothing changes. At this point, I think the people in Dolton have forced the public at large to talk about the situation. If they didn't say anything, she would have completed her 4 years. How much money could have been eroded from this, and nothing would have changed. It was the people in Dolton emailing content creators, emailing the news media, emailing the higher levels of government. A lot of people did put the effort. Now, obviously, the trustees to fight to again be public. They have a YouTube channel to broadcast and bring the receipts of the fact that she did spend that much money on the Tahoe, that she isn't paying the bills, that there's receipts of emails saying, I'm getting invoices, they're saying I'm not getting paid, I'm forwarding these invoices to you, and you're still not doing anything. So all this helps, continue to fight. Brilliant Disguise says, and the police are too aggressive with people in the meeting. And I've seen video clips of that, of just the fact that you hanging out in a meeting, right? It's supposed to be a public meeting, it's supposed to discuss some of the local government stuff, it happens across the country. And usually you may see just one or two police officers just hanging out, But if you have, more police officers in the meeting that's possibly outside fighting crime, that's a problem. It just shows her intimidation factor of, if you do something or say something, while I'm here and I got my police force, we could do something to you. Donna says, I'm wondering if she's hiding money for her to have when she gets out of jail, or mine for false investigation. She has to know that she'll be ousted. Then what? Will all our money tucked away? That's why I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. What is the end game? It could be no end game, and she is just thinking that she's doing a great job. That all this is this incompetence, it's ego, it's narcissism, because narcissists think they're brilliant, even though they're not. They could be very smart, but sometimes they think they're too smart and think they can outsmart everyone, and usually that goes in the wrong direction. But it could be just incompetence. She just thinks she's doing the right job because, again, she built that really nice ice skating rink. Someone is leading Tahoe Teflon Tiff to believe that she's a thug. She really believes that what she's doing is nothing wrong and she's not going to jail. It took me a while to believe it, but she's delusional. Well, hopefully, soon enough, that delusion will slap her in the face, because even if she is hiding money, eventually you gotta pay a lawyer, because they're gonna, when the curtain goes up and the FBI is there, you're gonna have to defend yourself, and you're gonna need really decent, at least quality legal, guidance by the lawyers. And the lawyers they're expensive. What, $300 an hour, $400? Like, I forgot the rates for some, especially if you're a good lawyer, which she's gonna need. That money she's tucked away, she's gonna have to spend it. She's gonna spend it. And there's no ice skating rink that's going to solve this problem. That's not going to make anything easier for her to understand or get away with this. This is where we're going to have to be.